Hey, how are you doing? It's Alan here from Look for Warriors, and I want to talk about Think and Grow Rich. We've been talking about this book a little bit, Think and Grow Rich. There's one thing he mentions in it, which I think is really, really, really important. And it's more important today than it was when he was writing this book. And it's called the QQS formula. QQS formula. Quality, quantity, and level of service. QQS, and it is so important, and it is important to me. It hit me because I haven't found this recently. I have been taking on a lot of work in different areas, not just this, in different areas, taking on a lot of work. And I think with the amount of work I've been taking on, the quality has suffered a little bit, and it's something that I've had to admit to myself. Now, initially I was a bit defensive about it because I was thinking, well, everyone else's quality isn't perfect. And that's 100% true. A lot of people are making bigger mistakes than I'm making, for sure. But that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is quality is important. Point is quality is important. Now he gives this QQS formula he gives in the book. He gives some examples. Now examples from 100 years ago, but you still understand them. He's talking about the coal and anthracite business, where they pushed up the prices between the coal miners and the distributors, and they kept adding on the price. And he said, and the level of service, or their quality of service wasn't very, very high. And they made a great business for the oil companies who were able to step right in there. So you create a vacuum for other companies to come in if the quality and the level of service isn't the way it is. And it's also attitude. And I can find this for myself creeping in sometimes as well. It's your attitude of service. He was saying that Dale Carnegie would look for people who had a good attitude of service, and even if the quality and quantity of the work wasn't as high, he would still want people who had the right attitude. And I get that. Obviously the quality and quantity is really, really important as well. But it's really important if you're running a business, if you're in a job, if you're in a multinational, or any job you're in. This is really, really important. The quality of service. He also talks about the oil readers who are just really rude. They'd come around and they'd knock at the door, and if you didn't open the door straight away, they'd give you a look like, why am I waiting for you? And that affected then the oil companies came in, and everyone just went to the oil companies because they were sick of dealing with the attitudes. You get that. And he also gives the example of the trains, where the trains are really rude as well. And the bus companies came on with a great level of service and great attitude, and they took over all the business. These are obviously examples from America from a long time ago. But can you apply it to your life today? Because I'm reading this and I can apply it to my life. I'm looking at areas for myself where I don't have the happiest attitude every day. Now, some of that comes from pressure, a certain amount of pressure. You have to get the quality and quantity right. But keeping the attitude right is really important too. So quality, quantity. So the quality is really, really important. I found that for myself. I let quality slip. It's something that I need to keep an eye on. From time to time, I can't let quality slip. And quality is really, really important. And I've noticed that recently. I've gone through some examples, my own examples, and I've had to look at them and said, yeah, they were mistakes I made. I have to fix them. Quality, really, really important. But then quantity is the thing today that's going to make all the difference to, especially particularly if you're running a business. The problem with being in a job is you can do, and this is the problem I had. I took on a huge quantity of work because I was enthusiastic. I ended up taking on a huge quantity, and then the quality suffered a little bit. But the quantity, particularly if you're running a business, is so important. Because if you can produce something high quality and produce it in a high quantity, that's how you make a lot of money. That's how you end up making a lot of money. And the way to do that is through systems, really. So you build your systems into your business. You keep the quality high, just like a head chef. Head chef in a hotel or a restaurant, he plans out the entire meal as it should be done, the exact meal that should be done. Sets 5 meals, and then they do that over and over and over and over again. And that's how the restaurant makes the money. It's just one system. This is how we make this. This is how we make this. This is how we make this. And it's followed then every single time. So that's how you keep the quality high. And obviously there's hugely systemized businesses like McDonald's, where it's systemized to the level of everything, just bells, everything's done. The bell goes off and these are done. The bell goes off and these are done. So you can't get it wrong, so they can hurt 15-year-olds if they want to. But it's even done in high-end restaurants. There's still a good system there that they produce high quality all the time. So it's quality, quantity. So you got to start with the quality for sure. But once you get the quality right, you've got to look at the quantity, particularly if you're like running a business, a manager in the business, a director in the business, or running your own business. You got to look at the quantity. How do you produce more? How do you produce more? And then attitude. Attitude is so, so important. And we can all have great attitudes every now and again. But we can all, and I'm looking at myself, we can all slip into defensive attitudes or just bad attitudes sometimes too. I think for the most part, I have a pretty good attitude about work. I'm very enthusiastic. I'm very excited about what I'm doing, but we all slip. We all slip. And I've found recently I've slipped a bit. And that's okay. It's okay to slip a little bit. But you can recognize it and then pull back a little bit again. So, you know, these things happen. But he wrote this book 100 years ago. And I was looking at Quora. And it's so funny. There's all these people who are so valuable in the world that we can learn from. And if you do enough digging on any one of them, you'll find that there's stuff written, but there's people who have different attitudes about them. Some people love them, some people hate them. So people have the same attitude about Think and Grow Rich. A lot of people love it. I was watching Bob Proctor the other day. Absolutely loves Think and Grow Rich. But then you're going to find people who are saying, well, he was a scammer and he had this terrible life and did all these terrible things. So, you know, that's a lot of time that's subjective. And the quality, quantity, about this formula, he's 100% right. And it's exactly the same today as it was back then 100 years ago. And it'll be exactly the same in 100 years' time. The quantity of what is being produced might be a lot more, because the quantity of what we can produce now is a lot more than it was 100 years ago. But the formula is exactly the same. Quality, quantity, and level of service. The QQS formula. From this Think and Grow Rich book, it's so important. And it's relevant today, and it's going to be relevant in 100 years' time. So as I'm discussing about skill stacks, build up your skill stack, having a unique skill stack, putting that information out on the web, maybe on YouTube, where people can see your skill stack. Maybe when applying for jobs, you include some of your videos that are relevant to that job you're applying for. But the QQS formula when you're building your skill stack is going to be so important. So something that I have to watch for example, is that I've been in the same industry for a long time, 26 years. And I know it like the back of my hand. I know everything they need to know, including the fact that I keep learning. I'm very interested in keep learning all the time, because it's a very changing industry. But I have to be careful about my attitude, first of all, my level of service, and also my quality. Because when you know something so well, you can sometimes just accidentally let quality slip. Because it's just automatic now. It's so easy to do that it's very easy to let just little things slip. But if you're playing at high levels, I think you need to keep a focus on that quality. Make sure the quality is up all the time. But I just want to talk about this QQS formula. I think it's so important. It's in this book, Think and Grow Rich. And so just have a little read of that. You'll see it there. But it's so important, and it's relevant to today. What's your own QQS formula? The quality, quantity, and the level of service, which is basically the attitude. This has been Alan here from Look for Warriors. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button.